then you say I'm amazing. If you search my DNA, then I bet you see greatness. Man, this life had a curse to me, but I fought through adversity, and I weathered the storm, and I walked through the rain. Man, I'm fresh out the mud, I'm not ashamed of the stains. Man, I took this pain.
What's going on? This is Visionary, and you are now tuned in to To Soulace. We got the full host here. Y'all know what it is.
Hey, I'm Coco.
I'm Chandler.
I'm Dissonance.
All right. So how y'all doing, you know?
What's your name?
I said Visionary. Dang.
Okay, my bad. What's your name?
Visionary.
Gotcha.
Himself,
Good name,
Visionary. But yeah, how y'all doing though? Like, you know, midweek, hump day. How y'all doing? From 1 to 10.
Tired. I'm a 4.
Okay, we gonna come back to you. Coco.
I'm 10. I'm fired up.
Facts. Brother.
You know
Literally.
me, bro. If it's productive, I'm a 10. I'm always a 10.
For sure. I feel a 10 too.
Shawty, you a
But
10.
Chan, back to you.
Why are you a 4?
Yeah, what's up with this 4?
Let's create a safe space
tired.
for you.
Yeah.
Oh, I need the safe space. I'm tired. I went to go get COVID tested yesterday, and I was praying that it was going to be positive. It wasn't. I just need a moment to. I don't feel like going to work. I don't feel like going to school. Like,
I wasn't expecting that, but let
no,
her
like
finish,
really, like
let her
I'm
finish.
just
Wait a minute, make sure you're talking
exhausted.
to
Like
me.
I feel like I'm always just having to do something. Like I just need like a day where I could just lay in the bed and do nothing. I don't even want to eat. I just want to lay in the bed.
You gotta eat.
Why do you feel that way though? Like you feel like you have to do it?
I just feel like the past like 2 or 3 weeks, like it's just like it's been work, school, coming here in my spare time, trying to be social and hang out with my friends. I don't know. It's like I feel like I got all these things I'm trying to tend to, and I just want a minute to just kind of throw all of it away and just to sit with myself. So
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Taking time for yourself, decompressing.
Gotta recharge.
Yeah.
I'm 1E.
Yeah. Let's jump into it though. We definitely. But you good though? We want to know if you.
No.
Are you on a rise? Are you on a rise?
If you make fake COVID test results, hit me. Okay, yeah, I'm fine. I'm good.
Scandalous.
Okay. So the recap of last episode, like how do y'all feel about it? Was it progressive? What was it? We're gonna start with you, Cole.
I think it was different. There were an arrangement of ages. Did I even say that right? But it was a lot of people with different ages. Let's just say that from 21 to 31, and I think it was interesting to hear the different perspectives of the different age groups. Yeah.
Pretty much it.
Yeah.
Pretty much it.
I'm not gonna do too much.
I think that although like I usually sit in, I think that the conversations from last week were a lot more fluid than normal. I think that towards the end, even if we weren't able to agree, like everyone at the table was able to find solid ground, and I think that that's rare. I think oftentimes it's like we really are battling. It didn't feel like a battle last week. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, that was good.
That's correct.
I agree. Even though it might seem like I come off very raw, it's just passion.
Passionate. I'm about to say
It's just
passionate.
Because I really respect everybody, and I agree with you. Like even though you had so many different personalities, so many different opinions, we all when each other talked, we all listened to each other, and then we all allowed that person to talk. Besides, you know what I'm saying, it was a couple mishaps, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Everybody was respectful
Yeah.
on the panel, and I really like that. So, and on top of that, I was just telling Charlie, like 16 people on one panel.
That's different.
Like, that's super different.
It was big.
So, I think that's what's gonna set the tone.
Mm-hmm.
And then you hear so many people in many different panels say something similar. So, I agree with you when it's say it don't sound like we were battling. It was like we all agreed, low key. Our opinions was just somewhat different.
Yeah, for sure. Like I really was amazed how everything. Y'all know for the beginning, I'm like, okay, it's a lot of people, but I know gonna be great energy. We gotta have.
Should have never doubted you, Charlie.
Yeah,
Well,
but no, it was teamwork. It was teamwork. We got it together. The energy was great. Everybody enjoyed and respected each other. So it definitely went well. It was a very mature group. Everybody listened to each other when everything they had to say or whatever. And everybody perspective, of course, everybody answers want to be different because everybody have different walks of life. But we always come back to the root of it, you know? So it really wasn't a right or wrong. It was just like, okay, let me listen we learning from each other at the same time, but we gonna agree, you know, yes or no. So, but yeah, it was definitely great. That 16, what we had, 16? 16, we definitely got to keep that up. So
and we had a few people off camera that didn't say anything. However, you know, the crowd was a little more chill this time.
Yeah. Definitely mature. So,
and then I do want to bring that in that when you first posted about this person coming in, they said they gonna bring this. We was all looking like, what the?
It seemed like it was gonna be more than 16, like. But it was
somebody was bringing 3 people.
Yeah, he was like, they gonna bring a crowd. They gonna bring a crowd. We like, God damn,
that's too much.
Everybody trying to fight to get on, man, because they see the great energy that we have.
That's true.
Everything is just authentic. You know what I mean? So just wait your turn. You know what I mean? Just wait your turn. Y'all can get on. Just wait your turn. But definitely stay tuned in on all platforms. Road to Soulace.
For sure.
But, yeah.
And comment below so we can actually, you know, comment back to your comment on the pod.
Yeah.
We said that last time, but we gotta re-emphasize.
Comment, subscribe, all that. But yeah, we definitely gotta touch on the topic that you mentioned. That's really going around, it's really going viral. Hold on, let me get it's about hold up, one second. The USC Majorette.
Because Coco brought this up. So
you brought it up.
Yeah, Coco, you bring up this, and we gonna follow your lead.
Yeah.
Okay. So for those that do not know, University of South Carolina now has a majorette team, which started.
It was South Carolina or?
Yes. USC.
I thought it was US. No, I thought it was Southern California.
No, South Carolina.
Okay, cool.
Now you got me wanting to fact check. Yeah, it was South Carolina.
I bet you know.
Right. So basically, there was a young lady that started a majorette team. Majorette dance started at HBCUs. It is a part of black culture. HBCUs are historically black colleges and universities, and you have predominantly white institutions, which are PWIs. This is the problem, right? How can you this is more so the question, how do you feel about our culture being in these predominantly white spaces when they weren't meant for us in the first place? Like, where is of course we want to be acknowledged, but what about the media coverage for the HBCU teams that have been doing this for 50 plus years? There are 101 HBCUs in the United States. Over half of them have a majorette team. Why not go there? Or where's the media coverage for them?
So when you first brought up the situation, I didn't know nothing about it. So I wanted to kind of like dig into it just a little bit, so I can kind of have a better understanding towards it. And I look at this situation like a double-edged sword, because there are two ways you can look at this. For black people who do go to PWIs, and her point was to create a safe space for them, it makes sense.
That's what it's supposed
to. It does make sense for them to be able to go gather the minority in the PWI to come together and create a safe space, because there's nothing there for them. You're just going there basically for the education and get the hell on. How can you find somebody that relate to you when there's no organizations there for that? You get what I'm saying? So I do understand from that perspective of that. I also understand from the perspective of you do have black culture that gets exploited when black people do go out and try to get people to accept them for who they are. You get what I'm saying? Accept me for who I am. Accept, you you gotta treat me a certain way and da da da. It's like a double-edged sword because even though I do want motherfuckers to respect black people, however, you gotta be careful about what you're asking for because you just don't know what might come with that. And I think the backlash of them doing this, going to a PWI and bringing that, shedding light on that, now you can't really control for the next upcoming years who's going to get in that. You can't say, okay, well, this is made for just black girls.
Right, like what are you
really
gonna
say
do
that.
when a white girl tries out for the team?
Right, you can't.
Now you got them in our culture even more.
So that's
and
why
it's gonna be like washed out.
it's a toss. Like I said, it's really same coin, two different sides. Either way can be argued. So, me personally, I don't see anything wrong with it. However, there will be backlash behind this in the long term. So that's just my opinion on it.
It was very problematic of what one of the teammates said about not seeing black girls with curly hair dancing and being in the spotlight, but it's like, who inspired you to do that? Where'd you get it from then? You had to have seen it somewhere. So it's like, I feel like my point is people don't really care about the history of dance, the history like of where it came from. That's what it's about to me. We had to create this, like it's already created for you. Why go into these spaces where they denied us access just because of how we look? And now you're going into, like, I get the whole safe space and cool, like I applaud her for following her dreams and her goals, but it's like, it makes me uncomfortable regardless. Like, it just does. And she's also from Chicago, like, so for you to see that black people have made everything out of nothing with the little to no resources we were given, and then, like, everything around us damn near is made by black people. Like,
For
all
sure.
of the shit we go through, like, or deal with on a day-to-day basis, like, all of the inventions and stuff like that, like, black people made that.
Yeah.
And oh no, like it make me uncomfortable. Like it's like a double thing, like you said, but I'm not for it. And it was mediocre to me. The performance was average. I want to see field shows. You doing Majorette?
But she trying
You can't
to.
just throw stands. You gotta do more than that. So if I'm gonna see more of y'all, I want to see more of y'all.
Their intentions was pure.
Yeah, for sure.
But the thing is, like I said, they don't know what comes with it because they probably went to schools that, you know what I mean, they just trying to find their identity, but not knowing that, like you said, the backlash after that, like people are always trying to have a step ahead of you. Like, yeah, the integration and all of that, but it's like, if you really want that, I feel like the solution to that is to go to the HBCU.
Right.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, I look at it on the other side too. They got the media platform. They got the resources. They trying to reach as many people. So I saw with the interview, like, okay, they like, we got the resources and the platform. Let's get it out there. But they got more to come. We don't know. Only thing we got is what we see. But they probably got something in the works. Like, okay, let's collab with HBCUs.
I would hope so. I would
Yeah.
surely hope so.
But
But
then
they're
you
not
gotta
exposing nothing.
Yeah, you gotta have. That's the thing though. You trying to shut out other cultures. That's gonna be a problem.
I think
What other cultures? My
Like,
apologies.
but like other races. I'm sorry, other races. So that's gonna become a problem when you trying to shut out other races.
Oh, from them like trying out for the team?
Yeah, like
okay.
that's gonna be the problem. Like I seen a comment where we can talk about this. I mean, it kind of goes into what we talking about. It say one of the comments up under it say we need to gatekeep our culture better. We got to
We do.
gatekeep it.
We do. If you saw an Asian person in a powwow, you know what the outrage would be. Like, come on now, but we have to share.
I disagree with that. The reason why I disagree with that, and I'm gonna let you go because you haven't said anything
I disagree
yet,
with it too,
because
though.
you actually cheered and whatnot for HBCU, so your opinion will be maybe a lot different from ours because, you know, it's kind of like you told me earlier. It's like a club that we have not experienced. It's like a high school football player talking about college football. If you ain't never played this, then how can you know? However, I want to comment on the situation as far as in gatekeeping. Now, I know this comment that I'm about to say is going to be very dangerous. I'm very aware of it, but I like the pressure. You say that we should gatekeep our own culture, but we are the ones who give away our own culture. Meaning,
exactly, that is the point of this.
but hear me out. Meaning, PWIs have better opportunities over HBCUs because when you really learn that all schools are nonprofit, meaning that they have to get their money from the alumni and also tax write-off from the government.
Mm-hmm.
You quickly learn that either it's two ways. Either black people are not giving back to their HBCUs, or black people are giving back to their HBCUs, and the people in the HBCUs, meaning like the staff and all that stuff, stealing money. Mm-hmm. Because why is it that HBCUs look the exact same way every year? We got fried chicken Wednesdays every fucking Wednesday. Financial aid take 3-4 months for you to get back your return. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's the part where I'm like, we got to be real careful about blaming people about stealing our culture when we choose to not appreciate our culture, and next thing you know, we're susceptible to just getting fucked up.
Yeah.
When we fuck each other over every time.
So do you think that we're not capable of coming together?
No.
You don't think we're capable of that?
No.
I feel like we talked about that on the first pod. It didn't air.
Yeah, it didn't air, but no. But I want you to chime in and put your opinion in on it, because you got a different outlook on all of this.
Yeah, we looking from the outside in.
I don't really want to talk about it because it stresses me out, the entire thing. It just stresses me out. Like, no disrespect to, like, any of y'all, but I genuinely do feel like there are just a lot of commentators and spectators with no credentials. I feel like just because you go to a HBCU does not mean that your opinion on what this looks like is valid or is the only opinion that matters. I feel like we're all like viewing what this looks like through different lenses. I didn't want to come here and be biased. So earlier today, after like we said like this is what we're going to talk about today, I asked 2 of my girlfriends who cheer at different HBCUs from mine, and then one of my friends who was a majorette at A&T, like what they thought about it. And the reason I felt the need to ask my friends who were cheerleaders, so I cheered for Central for 4 years. I was a captain in my last year. And I don't think people understand how closely related we are, not even just when it comes to like the processes that we have to go through, but also when it comes to like the rapport that we have to have with the band. We are very similar. When it came to my cheer friends, we were excited to see it. I think that when you understand like what it takes to be able to create this kind of club organization, they were able to do this at a PWI. They were able to perform at a game. They were able to have uniforms that had their school on them. Like, I understand, well, we understand as cheerleaders, looking at them, the hurdles that they had to jump over to be able to achieve that. Like, that was not easy. For them to be able to do that within that space, they had to work hard. They had to, it probably was something that they had been working on for maybe years. Like, it wasn't an easy thing. And I think for us to see that on Jennifer Hudson's show, it was exciting for us. We were happy for them. And it was like we couldn't really understand why people were so angry. When it came to my majorette friends, my friend Kyra, she danced for Golden Delight. I didn't know that the meaning of a majorette was a group of girls or a group of women who march in front of a musical band in procession. Did not know that. That team that was on TV, that's not a majorette team. They're not majorettes. Why? They don't have that rapport with their band. Like, they just don't. They don't get to perform with the band. They don't walk in with the band. They're not a majorette team. And so I think their issue was, why are they being broadcasted as this majorette team when that is not what they are? That is what we are. That was one. Two, they were also upset about the curly hair and braids thing, because they're like, we've been doing that for forever, and that almost like erases all of the women who for generations worked to make sure that we would be able to perform in these spaces and look like that. Their thing was never about getting recognition. It was never about there being light shined upon what they do within their universities. It was that they had hoped that at this interview that these girls would have at least taken the time to highlight all of the efforts that were made by women at these HBCUs who made these things happen.
That makes sense.
Nobody, so those of us who have been in these spaces, who have actually done these things, we're not upset about them getting this opportunity, because at the end of the day, not saying that we don't need it, because we've been doing it for forever, but it's like, it was more so about when one of us gets the chance, make sure you put on for all of us. But they were happy. Like, my majorette friends who watched it were happy for them. They thought it was awesome. They thought it was an amazing thing. It was like, it's like the people who were in these spaces, we weren't outraged, because at the end of the day, blackness being able to be displayed in any space is worth being celebrated, period.
That's true.
So
It's
just, I just feel like we, as black people who attend HBCUs, because there are white people in all of these spaces. Like, there are white people who cheer at high school, like black high school and black high school squads. There are white women and white men who cheer on HBCU cheer squads. There are white people who are in Divine Nine organizations on black campuses. Like, it's not as if these things are not accessible to them. So I feel as if, like, we should not be so angry about them getting this opportunity because we feel like someone else should have gotten it, but be happy that someone is being highlighted who was doing, even if it wasn't great, because I didn't think that they did bad. But be happy that somebody was given the opportunity to display that on this national stage.
So basically, you have to root for everybody that's black.
Root for everybody black.
Okay.
I respect that.
So,
for everybody
so
black.
do that. Everybody.
I
At
respect
every black space, not just PWIs. Because it's about the history. It's not just a majorette team. It goes way further than that. That's the part that is making me uncomfortable.
that. I think that's what.
Like,
So they
I
missed
think
that
that's
part.
what she said though. Like, it's
no, what you said was valid, though. What you said was valid. Like,
I think that,
That was a
when you
lot.
got the opportunity,
it was necessary.
yeah, when you got the opportunity to be able to put on the history behind it, I think that's where they fell short.
And it's like, if y'all are
Yeah.
mad about what they didn't say, educate them.
Yeah, I was
Because
just
they
gonna say-
genuinely don't know.
They probably-
If
but they
and
probably
How do you
want
don't
that.
know
They
what
probably
you start
want
a
that,
majorette
though.
team? No, I
But
can't go for
but
that. I can't
don't
go for
think
that
that's
part.
fair. And at the end of the day, like,
How do
everybody's
you
like,
start
if you
something
wanted
and
to,
don't know the history behind it?
A
That's
lot of people
ignorant.
start.
But the thing about it
It's
is,
ignorant, though. Whoever
I
do
don't
it,
think
it's
that
ignorant.
But it's the same.
To
It's
do
the same way.
something and you don't know the culture
Hold on.
of it,
I
where
don't
it
think
goes
it's
That goes
Hold
for
on,
that
I
goes
gotta
for a
give
lot
it
of
a
and it
stuff
does,
though.
and it can apply to any situation. We
But
all have
yeah.
done it, but it's like, come
But to
on
defend-
now.
I don't think that that's
Let's
ignorant.
go to these HBCUs, into their sectionals, and interview them and film
See, but-
them. Where's the media coverage for them? I want to know what's coming after this. I'm proud of her. I'm proud of them. That's good for them.
But
right?
the hard part about the
That's good for them.
But
But
you
go
can't also,
to us
like,
too.
say that you can't say
Go
that
to
you're
us
proud
too.
of them and
If
then
you want to
bash them and say,
celebrate
like-
everybody black, then celebrate everybody black.
the hard
You
part
can't
about
pick and
you-
choose
the hard about
what
you
you want to
saying
take from
that-
black culture.
The hard part about you saying that part about them being ignorant to it, a lot of people who go to HBCUs are ignorant because they
Don't
believe
know
that
nothing.
they
And they
believe
be the
that
ones who are most
HBCUs was
outraged.
founded by black people. No,
And
the
they
fuck
found
they
it, yeah,
wasn't.
they found about white.
All HBCUs were founded by white people.
Yeah.
So how can we sit here and say that historical black schools are black? They are not black. You just have a space where black people can come together and call that so-called theirs when they don't own it. So the issue behind that statement that you said was a lot more people move off of ignorance and don't know what they're doing, but they passionate about it. This is where this platform is to educate us.
And
Like
she
I did
shouldn't
not
be
know
faulted for
that.
that.
I did not know that there was, like how you was explaining as far as in majorettes, march in front of the
didn't know
band.
that
Like
either.
I did not
I didn't know
know
that
that.
So much more to it than
And that's why
marching
you
in
should
front of a
ask
band.
questions.
I feel
I
like they
was
would.
in a band before. I've done it before. It's way more than just marching in front of a band.
That's
You
the
have to do
definition
PT
of the
with them.
word.
I
get
feel like it was
but
a
I'm
crowd. I
saying-
feel like it was
We're
a-
at the collegiate level. Like
Right.
I'm not even trying to be like, but I feel like we're like talking about high school. Let's talk about it at the collegiate
Not
level.
right, but regardless, it still field shows. Don't you see? What is it?
So-
Eclipse go on the field halftime and do field shows. You think they just came up with that? No. Like
feel
it's
like-
a lot that comes with that. They do PT with the band. They do all of the same things. It may be more intense, but it's still the same.
So your frustration is that the fact that they didn't highlight
Yes.
other HBCUs.
Yes.
I feel like it
That's
was
it.
I feel like they have something further. They were just like I said, their intentions was pure. They probably. I feel like there was a crowd for help. Like, hey, let's come together. That's
All right, so I
Yeah.
want to see more of us.
You just gotta wait. You just
More
gotta
of
see.
everybody.
Yeah,
see
like
what-
that was.
see
So
the
I'ma
time.
wait
And it
see.
seemed like they only
And
had
if
a
I
little
don't see
time to
nothing, I'ma say
present. They
something.
only had a little time to present of what they trying to do. They
Yeah,
they
you-
probably it was
They
You can't
literally,
tear
they
down the
literally
house
blew
that's
up on
just
the
being
internet,
built.
and they were probably on national
One
television like
viral
a week
video
after.
later. One viral video later.
But that's
And
that's
yes,
the
yes,
But-
the
and
work
then the
behind it,
media
wait,
can pick
yes,
which
yes,
part.
the work behind it, of course. But you see how fast it happened because of where it was.
But
That's
that's-
what I'm trying to get y'all to understand.
no.
Of where it was.
We've been saying
if
that.
somebody started a dance team at a HBCU,
But that's a
who's
common
gonna,
thing.
Who's gonna cover it?
It's common.
Right. It's common, exactly. This is common
That's-
for us.
Right, but it's not common to do that at a PWI.
that's
I
why
got
the
coverage.
recognition is there. Yeah.
That's exactly.
But it's on, so it's only
Exactly.
so it's only right.
I've said it. It's like 5 times.
That they-
Sorry,
that
I've
they
said
did
it.
not-
Yes,
that they did
they're
not.
going to us and talking about it
But-
before today.
But all
So
of
we
those
gonna see
women
what
on that
happens
platform
now.
was black. All of those
Yeah,
women on that
okay,
platform.
we got
So
that part.
I can understand your frustration if those women were white and they came back at a majorette
No,
and
I'm
they just.
talking about what it is now. I'm not talking about what it could have been.
But listen to what I'm saying though. I'm saying from the example of how your frustration is coming off, because it just got coverage. All of those women are black. They said that they were getting pushed back because they're not at HBCU, but they are black though. So the thing about it is, we do have to celebrate them because they are black. We cannot
Celebrate them, cool. I'm not saying shut them out. But still, like, go to us now. So
have
now
a
it's our
question.
turn,
But it
right?
has to-
when will it be our turn? When will it be HBCU's turn?
Why do y'all keep saying like, or not y'all, because I don't remember who said it, but I want to know why it keeps being said that they're stealing from black culture and not HBCU culture, because they are black.
That's my point. That's
I mean,
what
the
I'm saying. Like,
topic is about HBCU and PWI, so, I mean,
but
I don't know that term
it's
was just
broad.
throwing me
Black culture is just all black culture. So that's the general term.
All right, so everybody got their opinion on it. So with that, I kind of look at it like an identity thing when it comes to the PWIs and stuff. But you know, a lot of people, when it comes to finding your identity, a lot of people go into depression when it comes to mental health, trying to find their identity too, especially at these HBCUs or like a different race coming to HBCUs or a different race coming to PWIs. Like they go into a mental health crisis. So my question is, when it comes to mental health, what are some of the solutions when it comes to mental health? If you dealing, like you said, you was a 4 earlier, like how would you deal with that? Or I can ask this: when it comes to people with like high followers or the notoriety, how do you deal with that? No, you got.
No,
you,
I don't.
Come on, I'll say over. If you got,
Over 20,000.
that's what you trying to get at.
I got 19.5. I'm pretty close. Follow me
To
on
be exact?
TikTok. Yeah.
What's your TikTok?
Yeah, my TikTok is CHANNEWT0N. Period.
so basically, you asking us how do we feel about mental health and identifying who you are,
Yeah, like,
the issues of identifying who you are.
because a lot of people commit.
I call my daddy.
So your safe space is your father.
My safe space is my father.
What do you tell the people that don't?
Who don't have that?
Yeah.
Dang, like I really like. I think I try my best to kind of empathize and understand that my experience, is kind of rare. To people who don't have it, I try to be that if they're open to pouring into me. Because it's like, I don't know who you have. There are many people who don't have anyone.
And those are people that mostly, those are mostly people that crash out. The people that don't have anyone because they feel like they can't go to certain people or they can't go to certain people. They feel like they can't. They feel like they can't go to certain people though. So they like, you know what, I'm gonna deal with it on my own. And then, you know, it can be too much. They holding a lot in, and they like, you know what, I'm trying to find peace, even if it's like I'm getting away from this world, or it's like, you know, some people don't have solutions. I know we all go through though. We all go through. But and everybody's experience is different of how they quote with it. But I feel like we only can speak for ourselves though. We can't speak for nobody else. So what I'm asking is, how do you get over your hardship?
I'm always neutral, bro. I don't allow things to get to me. So
You're so muy macho. Like,
I'm just saying.
Okay. I'm gonna put it like this. So what do you say to the people that's a workaholic when they stress?
I think it's about work-life balance, though. Like, I think that's the issue that we all have when it comes to finding our identity. It's about balance. You know, we talk too much about good, but not enough about bad. We talk too much about religion, but not enough about sex. You know what I'm saying? Or you overdo sex and not talk enough about spirituality. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's a combination of both to be able to come at balance with who you are. And that's how you identify who you are. You won't know who you are until you put yourself through circumstances to test you.
Right.
You know? So last time that we talked, when we talked about this was, I tell men, you need to have problems. You need to learn how to solve problems. If you don't have problems, you'll go crazy.
You'll crash out. Yeah.
The reason why is because men are programmed to solve problems. So if you have no problem, then you will always run around here like a chicken with his head cut off. For me, when it comes to women, I believe that they are natural nurturing creatures. So if they're not nurturing anything, they will go crazy. I don't think that it's designed for a woman to, this is just my opinion though, but I don't think that it's designed for a woman to be in a workplace like how they're pushing. I think that goes against nature.
Stay at home and take care of the kids.
So you feel like they forced?
I think that they're putting themselves in stressful situations that's not necessary. For example, most careers do not offer maternity leave. Why is it? You get what I'm saying? But then you try to fight for it. But that's going against the grain. You get what I'm saying? Men are designed to take on that hard labor, whereas women are designed to take on more stress on their body, if that makes sense.
it's not 1960.
Hold on, you can't say that.
I'm looking at, so what you just said is something that I heard earlier. I don't know where I heard it from, but I feel like men should practice balance. Women should stay in their feminine ways. Like,
I think we all should practice balance.
Balance.
I think that, so I'll take it outside of men and women, and I'll put it on the mind, and then I'm going to let it roll over to y'all. I don't want to talk too much. But there's this book. There's this book called Feeling is the Secret, and it basically talks to you about emotion. Yeah. But it also talks to you about how powerful the mind is, how powerful the conscious mind is, and the subconscious mind is. Super. The conscious mind is masculine, the subconscious mind is feminine. The conscious mind is is a filter. It basically blocks everything from the subconscious. Whether if you speak negative, you consciously spoke negative, that's going to go to the subconscious, and the subconscious will multiply that. Mm-hmm. So when you hear people say law of attraction, and you use affirmations, you're affirming things that's going to your subconscious.
You activated your subconscious because your subconscious don't have any humor.
Right.
So
That's how feminine energy works, though. Feminine energy is so powerful, Hear me when I say this. It's so powerful that it can destroy anything that it touches. Hell has no fear like a woman scorn, right? You heard that? Yeah. There ain't no phrase that say hell has no fear like a man scorn. No, we just get enraged and just start destroying shit. Whereas in women, you hear a woman turn a house into a home. That means she multiplied that. If a man give her a seed, she give him a baby. She multiply that. If a man comes and brings food on the table, she'll make it into a meal. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. That's how your mind works too. Subconsciously, your mind multiplies what you give it consciously. So men are more masculine. They should be more masculine to protect the feminine, which is the subconscious. So when I say we're out of order, it's because of just that off of nature alone. Men are not protecting like they should be, and women are not allowing themselves to receive like they should. But they receive everything, bro. How you think all these women is good at the game now? You know what I'm saying? A whole bunch of dudes run a game, and now these women are good at the game, bro.
No, for real though.
Like,
no, for real.
I mean, it's reversed because y'all can get some suckers, but y'all can win the game to a guy who understands the game.
Yeah.
It sounds nice, but then at the end of the day, like, who gets the shorter end of the stick? When they play the game, women get the shorter end of the stick at the end of the day. But that's the part of the game that they don't tell y'all about. You can play.
That's crazy,
but the instructions is structured. That's a masculine thing. Women don't like to follow instructions, so they break the rules. I like pictures. But go ahead, y'all got it.
Like the masculine, like you said, we should practice more masculine. We should practice more masculine when a lot of men is coddled right now because of the women is trying to pamper them. When it comes to that, like they trying to pamper them, like, oh, and that's don't cry, don't cry, this and that, you know what I mean? Or they promote it now, like men should express their feelings and what exaggerate is that they exaggerating like men should cry more, or like you really breeding suckers.
Yeah, I think men cry too much now.
Yeah, like
I think they cry too much.
Yeah.
She said they sassy.
Man, it's like men now, they not practicing they masculine. Well, they not practice balance. They not practicing balance.
Yeah,
I feel like that's a problem. That's a big problem right now.
More what's it called?
Yeah. So I feel like they at war. They at war with their
estrogen. More estrogen.
Yes, that's actually proven.
No, really.
The testosterone levels for men is low, like extremely low.
Get your testosterone up.
Start squatting. Stop going to the gym only doing upper body. Squatting is actually proven.
So when it comes to mental health, before we close out, we're gonna let y'all talk about mental health. Like, do y'all feel like y'all got everything off when it comes to mental health? Especially speak as for women.
I got some screws loose. I don't know.
I mean, we spoke on the problem. We spoke on the problem with men. I know you spoke on the problem with men and women. I spoke on the problem with men. But when it comes to like women, you know, it's women out here crashing out too. You can't ignore that. Like, what's the solution behind that, or what you feel, in your opinion, what you feel the solution is?
I'm trying to find a solution my damn self. I can't tell nobody nothing.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I kind of want to read
the question.
Yeah, reflip the question. Instead of a solution, what do you think that women are misunderstood when it comes to mental health?
Where we're misunderstood?
That's a loaded question.
Like, I mean, you can put it in there, but I'm just saying, like, let's display this. We're men. We don't understand y'all, right? I think that's the biggest push right now on social media, that men don't understand y'all. Y'all got a safe platform for y'all to open up and say, why do you think that y'all are misunderstood mentally? That affects y'all, that men need to be aware of, or just people in general. It can be women on women too.
I feel like I said this on the first pod, but I feel like in terms of women's mental health being misunderstood by other women, I think that women don't understand that oftentimes they are the cause for why other women's mental health is so poor.
I
Like
think
it's
other
so
people,
That's
period.
valid.
it's
but
so poor.
I digress. Go ahead.
So funny. I think that women oftentimes, I don't know, I guess because of how we, excuse me, not me, y'all, find ourselves being so competitive all the time and find yourselves feeling as if in whatever spaces, certain spaces, you have to be the only one. Or for whatever reason, finding yourself, because maybe someone made you feel as if you weren't enough. When you have a friend or are surrounded by women who you feel like are what you are not, you then antagonize them. And so I think that women are able to cause other women a lot of stress and can really hurt their mental health. I feel like with men, I feel like that's more so about like, I feel like your parents have like a huge impact on that as well. And I think it usually starts with your fathers when it comes to men. Because I truly do believe that we do seek out the kind of men that our fathers portray themselves to be. And if your father is not a great man, 9 times out of 10, you will pick men who aren't great. And you will find yourself being in this cycle of constantly looking for this love that you are unable to obtain because you are looking for it in a place where it'll just never be accessible to you.
I feel like that
Sounds
can
like-
be vice versa. I feel like it can be vice versa too.
Speak on it.
No, like for us as men, we try to look at some resemblance for our mother too.
That's nasty.
Not like that. Like
It's
the,
nasty.
It's the same.
I'm talking about like the
Yeah, I was just gonna say, what did you
Of
talking
course.
But I
about?
don't know,
talking about
something-
like for your father, like
something about I wanna be with
I
a
do
man
get
who
what you
reminds me
mean,
of my
though.
father, and I wanna
Okay.
marry a woman
To-
who's like my
no.
mother. That just sounds
sound
like
like a
it's just
weirdo.
completely
Yeah,
different.
now wait, and I
sound
think
like
that
a weirdo.
she
took it wrong.
valid. She
It's
kind of
just
valid in
completely
that.
different.
I
I'm
get what
valid, thank
mean.
you. It's just weird. I think
But listen.
from a man's standpoint, that's just weird.
not just
Because of what women do for their sons.
Yeah, like I
think
just think
that's
that's
what
odd.
the reason for what she's saying. Is that true?
Yes.
Because when you think of what fathers do for their daughters is more like providing, like,
Right.
but like providing
Mothers.
stability. Mothers is, I think
A
it's
nurturer.
nurture.
Yeah,
exactly.
nurturing, like you said. It's
I think
more
a lot
like
of mothers
coddling,
go
like
overboard with that.
they do. They
I-
really do. It's like
I
they
agree
date
with
their
you.
sons sometimes.
I do agree with you
They
on
go
that statement.
overboard. It's like, that is
I
not
think
your
a lot of
son, that
moms-
is your boyfriend.
Hold on, I think a
You
lot
should
of
go to jail.
I think a lot of moms who tend to do that make son husbands.
Yes,
So-
that is disgusting.
And the reason why I feel like they do that is because they can't get them a real husband.
And then they be wanting mama wives.
But then,
Yeah.
but I think that this is something that a lot of women have not talked about. I've talked about this with one of my exes. You know what I'm saying? Because I used to ask her, like, do you think your mama in competition with you? Like, a lot of women's mother is in competition with them, like, because their daughter might be prettier. Or their daughter might got more opportunity than them, better opportunity, better looking guy than them, better. Yeah, I used on some shit. So then, like, going into the parenting side of it, from the woman's perspective, it's like the daughter in the household is always doing wrong to her mama. But then when it comes to her son, no, he good. He can go ahead on. He can do this. He can do
My
that.
mama wasn't feeling me because I look at like my daddy. So I don't think she was jealous of me. I think she just, when she looked at me, she saw my father, and that just made her want to throw up.
Were they separated? I don't want to go too deep
Yeah,
into
they were
that.
divorced.
But,
I
okay.
don't be caring because I'm not secretive.
Don't look at me.
As a Virgo, I'm not secretive.
Y'all know how them Virgos get.
Y'all know how them Virgos get.
Yeah, so when them Virgos get like
Y'all
that,
know how them Leo, Capricorn, Scorpios get.
we
I
dominant.
did that, didn't I?
It's the
No,
season.
you thought you ate.
It's the
Give me your
Dominant.
plate. No.
It's the season. I don't know.
So-
That's all I'm saying.
Mental health, everything is laid it out like.
I don't think you gotta figure out what's best for you. I don't think nobody can really tell you what you can do. You can give resources, but not everything's gonna work for everybody. So you may have a lot of trial and error.
Pay attention to your patterns.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, them
Being
cycles
aware
is
of
real. Yeah.
what you're doing, what you're saying. who, what, where you're indulging yourself in or at. Being mindful, definitely self-awareness is the first step to mental health healing.
I'm gonna give y'all a little pushback on that. Just paying attention to pattern. It is very hard for us to see what we are doing wrong.
Do you really
naturally.
think it is?
Yes, very much so.
I don't think so.
Not always, no.
I don't think that it's. I think that it's easy for us to ignore it, but I do not think it's difficult for us to acknowledge like our wrongdoing.
I feel like
No.
first you gotta sit with
I don't
yourself.
think it's difficult at all.
People are running away from themselves
Yeah,
all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah, I feel like you gotta sit with yourself. A lot of people identify a lot by being away from, like, say about, like, first off, leave your hometown. Like, I feel like that's the first step. You should leave your hometown and sit with yourself. Like, I feel like you gotta really, once you sit with yourself, you don't have no influence outside to stir you in any direction.
That's hard to do though. How would you tell somebody who was fearful of leaving their hometown and also can't really sit down and be still? Like, that's
Trial
very
and
hard to
error.
do.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
said trial and
sometimes
error.
you
You
it's gonna
can't-
get a point that
if
you're
you
gonna
wanna try.
be sick and tired of, like, what am I doing wrong?
You sure? 86% of the people in
I don't
America
think that's
is
hard.
unhappy, bro.
I don't think it's hard, but it's because they choose to be unhappy. Like, I know, like, me being I'm happy. But, like, in those moments where I'm unhappy, I know it's because of, like, my choices. It's like, just like how, like, I know that there are things I'm supposed to be doing. Like, I done and heard God tell me to move. I just don't feel like moving. And then I'm sitting here like, well, I mean, like, I could have done it yesterday. And as time goes by, because I haven't done it like that, like, just, like, kills me. Or even, like, going back to paying attention to patterns. Like, growing up, like, I always had issues with girls. Like, always. And there came a point in time in my life where it was like I would make friends, and then maybe after, like, a couple months of us being friends, I would just kind of, like, ghost them. Like, I would stop being friends with them because I just could not find it in myself to trust women. And I'm sitting here like, I don't understand why I can't keep a friend. I don't understand why I can't, like, I don't understand why every girl is just so weird to me. And it's like I literally had to pay attention to the fact that all of these friendships that I had that I valued so much, I walked away from. Why did I do that? I then had to go back to the root, and it was like, well, my woman issues started with my mother. Me feeling as if she should have protected me, and she didn't. And so it was like in every relationship that I had revolving around, like, you know, women, it was like whenever something happened and it reminded me of my mother, I didn't want to be in that space anymore. And it's like it took me so long to figure that out, but once I started paying attention to those patterns, it was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. So I went to my mom. We are working on things, and it's like me being able to nurture relationships with women and not run is so much easier now. I don't feel like it's that hard to do. I really don't.
I don't think it's that hard to do, but your acceptance to it is what made you get through that.
And you'll be unhappy until you're able to accept it.
That is
I think that's why.
snaps for the
If
chan.
Thanks.
if it was that easy,
Feelings.
because a lot of people, we wouldn't have terms like cognitive dissonance.
Say that again.
Cognitive dissonance,
As a
meaning to not be aware,
psychotherapist.
to not be aware of what you do
Okay.
or who you are or self. Period. You can just do something and then you just not aware that you do that. Like, that is a real thing.
It is.
So
Somebody
it
gonna call
sounds.
you out.
The reason why I'm glad you brought that story up, because you basically told how you got through that process, step by step through that process. If people was pay attention, they would have heard it. However, a lot of people will always come up with the, well, I don't know how to. Well, I'm dealing with this. Well, I'm dealing with that. Well, you don't understand me because
I
I've
had
been
my
through
daddy,
that. And,
right?
Huh?
I had my dad, right? Like, throughout, like, this entire time where, like, I was, like, having these problems with girls, and I couldn't really understand why. Like, I was going home and I was crying to my dad every day. And my dad was, like, constantly trying to give me guidance, and I think I was able to figure that out because we were having all these conversations. I feel like if you think you're going to be able to do the work on your own, like, you're just not. Like, you're just not. You'll never be able to do it on your own, whether that is a therapist, whether that is someone that you trust, whether that is your pastor, whether it is. And I know that it's not easy to figure out who you can trust and who will give you the guidance that you need, or be able to give you like those unbiased opinions that are able to help you kind of like move towards bettering yourself.
Finish.
But I feel like it's necessary to take the time to try to figure it out. If you end up having 10 people that you confide in to try to, I guess, work through your trauma or work through these issues that you have, I feel like it's worth being able to find that one person who can help you kind of maneuver through those things, because you really can't do it by yourself.
I love that. That was amazing.
That's what I was going to say.
Thank you.
As far as in picking up your patterns, it's good to find somebody else to help you see that pattern, because it's very hard to see your own pattern.
Yeah.
So I like how you sum that up.
Thank you.
There y'all go. Road to Soulace. We covered a recap of last episode. Make sure y'all check that out. Gender Wars, episode 2. Then we covered USC Majorettes, and then we covered mental health. So make sure y'all tune in to all platforms, Road to Soulace. And we are your hosts, myself, Visionary.
Coco.
Chandler.
Dissonance.
Indeed.
Y'all know what it is, man. Together we stand. Divided we fall.
Yeah.
Fuck the middle man. We gonna holler at you.
Already been here. I feel like the stars are aligned.